Hey everybody, reviewing Neal Brennan, Three Mics. Um, I think that this is kind of what stand up should be about. It's about meaningful interactions with your audience. And I think that Neal Brennan was very intimate with his audience about his own life. It kind of reminded me of Fun Home by Alec, by Alice. Um, I forget her name. And Fun Home, and she wrote this one about her mother. She wrote one about her father, and then about her mother. I don't remember the name of what her mother's memoir was called, but I knew the memoir based on her mother. And then the memoir she wrote about her father was Fun Home. It's a comic book memoir, graphic novel, whatever. Um, I this is and it reminded me of that, how she's like very introspective about how her relationship with her family was, and he's also very introspective and is very deep and is very deep and just emotionally gut wrenching, and it just gets you, and just it doesn't make you pity him, and it doesn't make you go oh, it just makes you go oh shit, this is pretty good. like oh shit, like it makes you like it surprises you with how good it is, and it doesn't really go for the emotional appeal because I don't think comedy lends itself for that. Like his comedy at the beginning, he was very funny, but at the end, he wasn't. And I think that's what happens with comedians. They just try to make a joke, try to make a point, a social commentary, and then spice it with comedy. But towards the end, he just went fully in social commentary. And at the beginning, it wasn't like that. It was both. It was aspects of both. But in the end, it went only one way. But I kind of I appreciated that personally. I didn't mind it. I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was like really deep, and like I said, it surprised me at how deep it was. And I just think his quirky one-liners were phenomenal, and I liked how he used uh like he talked about his girlfriends and how he would date famous people, and how that was a problem because they were famous and they couldn't really get along because of that. And he didn't have I guess he just didn't have the income, he didn't have the social status that they did. like if you can, I think if you can like have a really good paying job, I think you can bypass fame. Like if you have 200k 300k job, a 200k 300k job, I think fame is not, it's not going to be a problem for you when you're dating, even though, unless they like really cling on to it. If it defines who they are, then maybe you will, because then they will look for somebody who identifies with their fame and them, and therefore an extent by extension themselves. But if you can have a really good paying job, I think you can bypass fame. But he couldn't, because I guess he didn't have the good paying job. He was a stand-up comic. He wrote for the Chappelle Show. Um, he talked about how it ended so abruptly, so therefore it kind of put his life in perspective and like try to save his life in a way, because he's trying to protect it. He's trying to develop something in his life. He's trying to develop a career, and he he's trying to protect that career by not letting it get destroyed or end haphazardly. And I just think that's a natural reaction for humans. And it's when we're falling, we automatically put our hands out, and we want to protect ourselves. So it's like self protection, auto protection. I think that's just natural in human beings. And he talks about his father who told him that he didn't love them, and that was both excruciating and liberating in a sense, because, and it's a little cliche, oh, it's liberating, it makes you feel good that you finally know the truth. And I kind of think that's kind of bullshit, because like, even if you don't have that information, are you still not going to go on with your life? I think you are. I think you have to. I mean, it might rupture you a little bit, but I don't think it's nothing you can't man if you don't find out that your father didn't love you. If you can insinuate that he didn't, that's kind of enough. It has to be enough because a lot of people don't get that. They don't get to find out. A parent wouldn't be brutally honest like that. But I guess he was lucky in a sense. He was lucky because he did find out. His father did tell him, and his father didn't write him in his will. He told him that his son Neal gets nothing, and that he felt. I guess he felt sad because he wanted something, even though because he was his son, not necessarily because he actually needed it. And it was the symbolism of it, not necessarily the actual, you know, event. And I think that he says that at least he got the truth, which was that his father didn't love them, and he didn't love him. So, you know, it's a little traumatic. So and then he talks about how he took a lot of drugs. He went on meditation retreats. He took antidepressants because his relationships with his girlfriends would really tear him up. So this guy is a very sensitive guy, and it was nice because it was endearing. It wasn't. You know, sometimes when they say when you put yourself out there, that's actually a bad thing because you leave yourself vulnerable. But he was very vulnerable, and that was a good thing, I think, because I think a lot of guys are not like that. They're not willing to put themselves out there, even if it's for a little bit, they won't. They're just like very testarudos, and he did, and I appreciated it. I appreciated it a lot. It wasn't mushy in any sense. It was very profound and enlightening in a sense. Not enlightening, but it was profound. So it was appreciative of it. But yeah, that's my review of Neal Brennan's Three Mics. Watch it. It's on Netflix. So I definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. So yeah, watch it.